afternoon and welcome back to Laurel Park. Welcome to Today at the Races. I'm Gabby Gaudette alongside Stan Salter here. Happy Sunday. It was a great day yesterday. We had a tremendous race card on yesterday, and today we kind of parlay it onto a happy Sunday.
Beautiful. It started off a little cloudy yesterday, right? And then it was a beautiful afternoon. Huge day of racing, huge handle, a little over 4.2 million yesterday. On a day we had 8 stake races, three graded stakes. So first time we did over 4 million here at Laurel Park in a while, and I think we have a good shot with the beautiful weather today to maybe hit 5 million today on a Sunday. Maybe not quite 5 million, but yeah, the sunshine from the yesterday's big days carried over. It's a beautiful day. I will say, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this. I'll just say there is something big coming on Sundays here at Laurel Park, and not just big in horse racing, big in all of sports. So. Something big coming here on Sundays. But we have a great Sunday today. A lot of great stuff going on. Nice carryover in the Rainbow Six.
And something that we recently started is the Premier Player promotion here. And I wanted to talk about this quickly. $5,000 guaranteed championship. This happens every Sunday on September 11th through October 30th, and it's a $30 entry fee, and it's fun. You play the last, I believe, 5 races of the Sunday program. It's a $2 win place bet, and I took a stab at it the first weekend. I took last weekend off, but hey, look, we can beat the pro, and if you finish the day ahead of you, Stan, you have the opportunity to earn 500 extra points.
Well, the first week I tanked it, so everybody got extra points the first week. Last week I was on the leaderboard early, and then I think I faded. I was 5th or 6th, I think, last week. But it's a pretty cool thing. You qualify for the big money round. You have a chance to qualify every week, and you can have multiple entries in the big $5,000 qualifying or championship round there for the Players Challenge. So that's one of 2 cool things we have going on Sundays. We also have the Premier Parlay. I hit that a couple weeks ago, opening weekend. Didn't hit it last weekend, but I'm going to take a shot at this again today as we have the NFL Sunday ticket up there and tips and tycoons. Take a stab here at the Premier Parlay. If you get 3 games right, you double your Premier Player points.
It's very, very fun to take part in this and kind of battle it out. I'll be playing. I think I have 2 entries today. You can play up to 2 entries, so I'm going to be doing that. I know you'll be doing that as well, so play along with us this afternoon. But we had a big day yesterday, as previously alluded to. I want to take a look at some of those reruns of those graded stakes that we saw yesterday, and we'll start it off with the Commonwealth Oaks, and we saw My Impression. Very, very impressive here under Jose Ortiz, shipping down from New York, and this was an impeccable ride. I mean, Jose Ortiz, he just captured the Saratoga riding title, and beautiful ride for a very, very promising filly.
Yeah, good to see owner Breeder Stewart Asjani here for My Impression, winning the Commonwealth Oaks. And here's the first of 2 Grade 2s yesterday in the Commonwealth Turf Cup. And Trevor McCarthy with a big day. Beautiful ride up the rail here for Christophe Clement on the French bred black type.
It was a great ride there. Trevor McCarthy having a great day and keeping the home team proud under Trevor as we get to the Commonwealth Derby. And, American Patriot did go off as your heavy favorite, but there was quite an upset, a $15 winner and deeply undervalued under jockey Manny Franco for trainer Chad Brown. That horse seemed to be very impressive, and he hadn't ever faced stakes company, let alone graded stakes company, but he was very consistent against allowance company, and he finally made that leap, and successfully too.
That was the horse that knocked us out of the pick six.
I know.
He knocked us out. We
don't like him.
Yeah, Chad Brown had a heck of an afternoon yesterday, winning races all over the East Coast. But we didn't.
Including the Pennsylvania Derby.
Yeah, nice win up there. It's because we didn't key on Rosebriar. Rosebriar won the Burt Allen Stakes for the 3rd year in a row. We went 3 deep in that race. Of course, Rosebriar won for fun.
That was easy money.
That was easy money there. Absolutely, another win for Trevor McCarthy on Rosebriar. So didn't have the Chad Brown horse there in the Commonwealth Derby, but that's all right. Nice carryover today in the pick 6. I know you have a ticket. I'll play a ticket. Everybody should have a ticket today for that pick 6 carryover.
We have rolling super high five wagering available every race today, including including the first race, so take a stab at that in today's first. And then the race 1 also kicks off the early pick 5. That is a mandatory payout. We'll get to that in a minute. But the Rainbow 6 does start today in race 5. A nice carryover, $7,600 in that. And we have the late pick 5 carryover, or excuse me, no carryover, but the late pick 5 does start in race 6. We'll take a look at the track and weather conditions. It's beautiful. It's a glorious day. It's beautiful horse weather too. Horses love this nice, chilly, brisk fall weather. And we're getting to the low 70s today. We're fast and firm. 10 races on tap. First post set for 1:10 p.m. How's it look, Stan?
Yeah, beautiful. I mean, that's let's roll. A big card, 10 race program, some nice races today, especially later on in the card. But my favorite kind of race, long turf here in the opener to kick off the early pick 5.
Exactly. This race does start the early pick 5, and rolling super high 5 wagering is available. That is a 15% takeout and $1 minimum. There has to be 7 betting interest for that bet to take place. That happens throughout the afternoon. Pick 5 available too. We'll get to the first race, a mile and a 16th there on the turf course, maiden $25,000 event. And Stan, the 4 Northern Eclipse is 5 to 2 on the morning line, and this horse is probably the one to beat given her speed. I thought she really had everything go her way, albeit against Maiden Specialweight Company at Delaware. She slowed the pace down, and she still couldn't deliver, but she is the horse to beat. Rider change to Victor Carrasco. We forgot to mention this quickly. We should mention this. Jockey Sheldon Russell did go down yesterday afternoon, but all is well, just taking the day off for precautions.
Not good, and good to hear. He just came back from an injury, tough guy, but he'll bounce back, we hope. So thoughts and prayers to Sheldon Russell and Kathleen O'Connell and the connections there of Dan Hauser. So I respect the 4. That looks like the main speed. I have another speed horse on top on the inside, Jane Sibeli, Trevor McCarthy. They teamed up with Rosebriar, winning the Burt Allen yesterday. And now this 3-year-old filly has speed in the inside post with one of our top riders, McCarthy. But I am concerned about the 4 Northern Eclipse with Carrasco all over her early on. So it'll be an interesting race. Maybe Trevor sprints clear and can get an easy uncontested lead, or maybe he takes back and lets Carrasco go on with it. But I don't want to see him going head-to-head early, but I'll go with the inside horse for Jane Sibeli.
Well, see, that was my thinking, that they might duke it up on the front end there and maybe pave the way for horses that are closing from off of the pace. So I land on the 5, Running Tide, for trainer Ann Merriman. And when this filly debuted, she ran well. It was against lower level maiden claimers, but it was at a sprint distance. And since then, they stretched her out to 2 turns and they stepped her up in class. So now meeting Maiden 25 Company, staying that distance of ground, getting plenty of pace for a favorable setup. So I opt for that one. Stan, I took a long, hard look at the 6 Wednesdays only. I did throw her out of the top 3, but she has been well exposed at this distance on this surface, but if she runs her race, she very well could be competitive here.
Yeah, she is 0 for 15, but Mike Trombetta, he did claim this filly for a bunch of money last year, so there's something he liked about her, and they haven't given up on her yet. She's always kind of hanging around this level. That was a fairly tough maiden special weight for Maryland breds back in August, so I thought that was a good third, maybe a slight class relief today. We get a top rider here, Daniel Centeno, aboard. She's always right there. Let's see if maybe, so that's why I use her. I don't have her on top, but have her in my top 3.
All right, the 7's Andrea, I'll just throw into the mix. A very nicely bred filly by Escandarea out of an Indian Charlie mare, Indian Carly. And the mare never turfed, but in the second generation, there was actually a 2-time stakes winner. So there's very nice pedigree once you finally dig deep, and she is nicely bred for the turf. She's been on the turf before to no avail. That was against much tougher company. So I'll give her another look in today's opener. We get to race 2 on the card, a $10,000 claiming event. 6 furlongs on the main track, and the one Girls Got Rhythm is going to be your favorite at 7 to 5. And I think she might be vulnerable in here just a touch, Stan, primarily because you have no other option but to send from that rail post position, and she might be taking some outside pressure from the 4 and 7.
Yeah, exactly. I go with the 7 on top. The connections have been red hot since getting here to Laurel Park, but I respect the one in her early speed. She was the beaten favorite last out in an allowance race over there at Timonium. But yeah, Daniel Centeno's hands will be forced early, and if there's pressure to the outside, that might compromise her. But she's the absolute deserved 7-5 favorite, so I'll use her second. But I like this the controlling speed. I think Horacio Caramanos will have on the 7. Color Me Sexy for Javier Contreras, and the barn's been red hot since they were stabled here a long time ago. Very nice guy, Javier Contreras, does a nice job. Then he was at Charlestown for a while, but he's brought his string of horses back here, and he's had a couple nice winners. Had a nice win in an allowance race with a horse that was a big price. So I like the 9-2 price here and the outside speed on the 7.
I can remember you and I not really paying attention to this horse because she was coming from Charlestown, but someone knew something. She went off as the favorite that day, and she did deliver. She could very well repeat here too. She has that outside controlling position. I went in a different direction here with the 2 Dixie Victory, make the rider Victor Carrasco today, and she's kind of got darkened form, but overall Tim Keefe, with this type of angle going from turf to dirt and these mid-level claimers, he does well. He's about 18% out of 17 horse sample size, positive ROI of $4.25. And not only that, Stan, you know, she faced Allowance Company back in November. That was her most recent dirt try. And the time before that, she faced non-winners of 2 for 25, and she won easily by almost 4 lengths. So I think her dirt sprint races are sneaky good.
Yeah, that was a nice win last October. I kind of overlooked her a little bit. Maybe I'm a little concerned about the drop, but strong connections here. Fergal Lynch riding for Timmy Keefe, and gets a big class relief. I guess the 2 races back on the turf didn't go too well, and then she had another little break after that.
Yeah.
But the barn does well with fresh horses, so it's a nice 6-1 price there you have on top.
All right, that is race 2 as we take a look at the 3rd on the card, 5.5 furlongs on the turf. Non-winners of 2, lifetime in for that $16,000 tag. And well, the 1 Cowgirl Creed, your 2-1 favorite on the inside for trainer Graham Motion, has the speed, but isn't this a very questionable drop in class?
Yes, it is. That's why I use her 3rd. Tough inside post, although Trevor McCarthy did it beautifully yesterday on the Rapid Rhythm in a 5.5 furlong turf stake yesterday. So he can absolutely get it done. But yeah, a big give up here. The race 2 back, an allowance race in July, wasn't bad at all. Only beaten 2.5 lengths there in a tough race, but it didn't go well in the Jamila on a soft, good turf course. So yeah, she's running right back in a month. So nothing's wrong. I mean, we're talking about Graham Motion, so it's a top outfit. But yeah, I'm a little concerned about the drop. I use her 3rd.
I think she's going to be the horse to beat because she's got the speed from the rail. She could take pressure from the 5 to her outside, but sometimes these horses just keep on going from the class relief alone. But overall, if you look at numbers with Graham Motion, with his turf horses dropping from Allowance Company to Claiming Company, he's 2 for 33, 6% and a negative ROI. So I take that as a very eye-opening negative statistic, and maybe giving making her vulnerable enough to try to beat her. The 11 Goldie's Tail is a horse you and I try to beat her with, and doesn't she look like one that's just going to relish the turn back in distance?
Yeah, and the barn does extremely well. Calixto Juarez, 27%, small sample, but nice positive ROI. Yomo Ortiz in the irons form. He's won some nice races for the barn here recently. Nice bullet work at Pimlico. This barn does well with the small stable, and we're getting a nice 8-1 price. I love the cutback. I think Ortiz will stay in the clear on the outside and make a nice late run here on the 11. Nice 8-1 price here on this filly.
Yeah, it looks like she just tuckers out a little bit going 2 turns, but it looks like she could have that kind of stalking speed cutting back to 5.5 today. You take another turn back horse, and that is the 4 Chanel #1 for trainer Mike Trombetta. And maybe the turn back, although she has shown the ability to close going 2 turns, maybe the turn back here will make that kick a little bit more potent.
Yeah, she ran okay. She's been running respectable going 2 turns, but I like the cut back here. Louis Garcia having a nice meet here aboard for a good barn, Mike Trombetta, and so decent 3. She's fresh today, hasn't run since mid-July, and you see 3 nice maintenance works in September for this race. So obviously appears to be training well in the morning and a strong connection. So it's a nice 9-2 price. I'll throw into the exacta.
Okay, I look to the 12 Sweethearted for trainer Gary Capuano just to throw in there in some exotics, because she only has 1 turf sprint try, and that was against that starter optional allowance claim claiming condition, which they have a tendency to come up quite tough. She was 24-1 in that performance, and we did see a very hot pace, and unfortunately she chased that very hot pace, and hopefully she has the ability to settle on the slight class relief here, and that is the 12 Sweethearted there for race 3 as we turn the page and take a look at race 4. Nice maiden special weight onto the main track at 6 furlongs, and we do have a scratch of the 4 Lady Lindsay, who figured to take a little bit of money, Stan, but you land on the 5 Follow No One, a first-time starter for Horacio De Paz, who really does fantastic work with first-time starters in their 2-year-old season.
Yeah, he's a 3 for 9 recently with a nice positive ROI. We get one of the top riders, Victor Carrasco, on a well-bred 2-year-old. They paid $100,000 for down there at the OBS sale last year. She's by Uncle Mo out of an Empire Maker mare, so top pedigree, top and bottom there. Some nice works here at Laurel Park. You get a nice post right in the middle of the field. So Horacio De Paz, see if he can get another one home first out.
It's always good to be well posted like that. It gives these young horses options to kind of see where they want to be positioned. And the mare, Miss Red Delicious, she was a 6-time turf winner. She made about $200,000, and she was a stakes winner at 2 as well, so she was precocious. And this horse is actually kin to a horse named Golden Delicious, who won the Miss Presidentris on one of those claiming days down at Gulfstream. So some nice pedigree there. I'm looking for perhaps one that has some experience, and that is the 7 Cause She's Fast. I don't know if you found this, but she's very well bred. She's by Creative Cause and out of that El Prado mare. That makes her a Have to Believe You Can, a 2012 Kentucky Oaks winner. So you look at the pedigree, Stan, and you have to kind of scratch your head and think, well, why would they debut this horse on the turf? She looks like she could be even better bred for the dirt.
Yeah, you never know. Maybe the first option was the dirt, and then they had the if to the turf. But the barn's been red hot here. Larry Jones, Gabe Saez, they've been bringing a bunch of live runners down here. Top rating, like you mentioned, the barn 21% with maidens making their second start. Nice bullet work. September 16th up there, Delaware, after the debut run. So it looks like she's sitting on go. It's a tough race. I use her third. I guess just looking for a little more value. But she's absolutely one of the horses to beat, along with the 2 Socialized. But I like the post of the 7 a lot better. Tough assignment here for Grand Motion, first-time starter on the inside. But Trevor McCarthy, some nice works up there at Fair Hill. So they'll be all right.
And it's interesting that she has a series of gate workouts before she starts here. So they broke her out from the gate at Fair Hill early September, and then once again in mid-September. So I thought that was quite interesting. She unfortunately has to draw that inside post position. The mare never broke her maiden, but the mare did produce one other 2-year-old winner. So some of her foals have been known to run quite well early. So an interesting.
The mare by Chief's Crown. You don't see that name too often. That's a name from way back, Chief's Crown.
Yeah, so that is a very interesting maiden special weight. That is race 4. Race 5 kicks off the 20-cent Rainbow 6. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I have a ticket for that. You have a ticket for late pick 5. Still lots of action yet to come.
Don't miss Maryland's Day at the Races, Saturday, October 22nd at Laurel Park. Come party with friends on Jim McKay Maryland Million Day. It's the celebration of Maryland's horses. Great fun for fans of all ages. Gates open at 11 for an exciting day of racing. Great entertainment on the track and a collector's cap too. Don't miss out on the fun at Laurel Park, Saturday, October 22nd. For more information, visit MarylandMillion.com or MarylandRacing.com. See you at the races.
Welcome back to Today at the Races. Gabby Godet joined by Stan Salter, and race 5 does start the 20-cent Rainbow 6. We have a nice carryover here of $7,600, and I came up with a ticket, Stan, and I have a good feeling about this one today. It's a $72 ticket. It's a big carryover, so go ahead, play a reasonably priced ticket, whether you bring your friends in, it's Sunday. It's football Sunday. Just bring them out to the track, watch some football, bet the pick six.
The level this carryover is at right now, 7,600 is the absolute best time. This is some kind of like some inside info here. This is the best time to play this because as soon as there'll be a nice pot of money. There'll be about 10,000, and you have a decent shot of taking the whole 10,000 down today. If you play a realistic ticket, have a couple nice prices get home for you. As soon as it gets over 10,000, that's when you start having all the heavyweights jumping in there with their bigger tickets. So it's harder to hit the jackpot. Today's the perfect day for a $10,000 score. I like your ticket for the pick six.
I echo those sentiments here. In race 7, though, that is the spread race. I'm going to be using 5 horses. That's an interesting maiden race and a lot of first-time starters. Very intriguing first-time starters. But my single in this ticket is going to be Good Luck Gus. I do think that is the horse to beat. I know your best bet of the day. We have we have opposing opinions there. You like Pismo Time later, but I do like Good Luck Gus. So keen off of that horse, giving me the ability to spread in other legs of the sequence. So we'll see how far we get. Stan, it kicks off in race 5, heading out to the turf at a mile and a 16th is open, $7,500 event. And this, I thought, was a pretty competitive field. I'm looking for a little bit of a price, but Stan, how did you see this race?
Well, you like my top pick second, the 2, Intrepid Alex. I love this 4-year-old filly. Biofleet Alex, trained by Gary Capuano. I loved her last summer when she was a 3-year-old. She had a nice allowance win here, going wire to wire. And then she kind of tailed off a little bit to finish off her 3-year-old year. She had a nice long winter break. It took her a little while to get back into her top form. They had to drop her down to the Open 15. It was a good second there. And now she finally got the win up there at Delaware last out, going wire to wire. That was a condition 10,000, so we're dropping to the Open 75 today. Probably kind of a lateral move. This is a tough Open 75, but she has the back class. The Dam was a stakes winner, so I've liked this filly for a while. Alex Cintron aboard here for a good turf trainer. She has a good record here at Laurel. And she doesn't have to get the lead, but if she gets the lead, I think she's dangerous.
That's the thing, is you look at her form in the past 2 starts and you think, oh, well, maybe she's one that's not very versatile. She needs the lead in order to win. That's definitely not the case. She's athletic enough. She has a lot of agility. She can really just position herself in any part of the race and wind up being very competitive. So I respect her too, as of course I used her in the first leg of the pick 6, but I went with a different horse in the 10, Desert Princess, Make the Rider Forest Boyce here for Robbie Bales. And her 2 races at Pimlico were definitely good enough in order to beat this field today. I think she gets the pace that she wants in front of her, considering Intrepid Alex in here, considering Race and Shine is in here. There are some other speed types, and she's a closer with a good pace. She also, sometimes in the in-between some of her races at Laurel, she's been hampered by some unfortunate trips where she's been stymied a couple times. So I know a lot has to go right in order to win, but she will be a price, 8-1 on the morning line.
Well, that's the thing. You're getting great value there, 8-1 strong connections, and she was in very good form at Pimlico's. Tailed off a little bit, and I guess the last race at Pimlico, it made me look elsewhere. But if she can get back to that form we saw at Pimlico, absolutely at 8-1, she could get a nice price.
You have the 11 Race and Shine back again after a victory last time out. And she did show speed. She looks like one that definitely favors being on the lead.
Yeah, I have two speed balls here for the exacta. That might not be the best idea, but Toledo doesn't have to get the lead here on this 5-year-old mare either. He can maybe have a nice stalking trip because he knows the 2 Intrepid Alex will be forwardly placed. So neither one of them have to have the lead, and I hope I don't see them head and head around that first turn. But yeah, nice win last out, 7-1. They got the money last out on a soft, good turf course. I think she'll like a firm turf course as well. Strong connections here. Toledo aboard for Damon DeVico.
Well, the horse I went out of that race is the 12 Mademoiselle Belle. And because of that slow pace, I thought Race and Shine, she managed to get away with very soft fractions going wire to wire, uncontested. I think there's going to be more speed in here. So Mademoiselle Belle was hampered by that. She didn't get off to a great start. She found herself well back early, and she was very wide in the final turn as well. And you look at the discrepancy last time out, even despite that trouble, she went off at 4-1. So she was a short price last time with trouble. Now today you're getting a much better price double that price. And I think she's going to get more pace.
Yeah, it was a sharp win, too, back up at Tampa. The barn does well, especially with turf runners. I'll throw the 3 in there. Holy Scat. I love the Scat Daddies on the grass. Jane Sabelli, Trevor McCarthy. Enough said there. A sharp win, 2 back. Very capable from an inside post with strong connections.
All right, let's move right along to race 6, a starter allowance, 7 furlongs on the main track. This does kick off the late pick 5 stand, and I know you took a stab at the ticket. Did you single on your best bet of the day?
I did. I singled on my best bet. That's two best bets. Pismo time in race 8, a nice allowance sprint. The 6 Pismo time for Larry Murray, Trevor McCarthy. I'll key on Pismo time at 2-1. And then I'm going to use a 15-1 key horse in race 9, a nice allowance race going long on the grass. How about the 3 Silver Romeo? Sharp win last out in a maiden special weight. Stepping up here, Gabe Saez aboard for Hugh McMahon. So 2 key horses, a 2-1 and a 15-1. I'll spread in these first 2 legs. Try to catch a price here.
That is bold, but I don't mind you going with a lot of horses there in race 7. That is a wide open race, and really hard to have confidence with any top selection in there. So hopefully you can get some value in that leg of the sequence. And we kick it off with race 6. Once again, 7 furlongs onto the main track. And this race, you know, we see the likes of Showtime coming off a victory last time out, now off the claim for Gerald Brooks, Right Squall to the outside, another one for trainer Gerald Brooks. I went to Right Squall just considering his record at this distance. He's a 2-time winner at this distance, and also he's going to get the pace that he wants in front of him to make his late closing bid.
I have the 10. I have both the Jerry Brooks horses on my pick 5 ticket. Just don't have them in my top 3. The 10, Monmouth, Thistle, Timonium, well traveled, and I don't know what's going on. Showtime, first off the claim from Claudio Gonzalez, so we'll see there. I'm going to go, how about Tito time, 8-1. I know we'll get a nice price here. This horse ran a career best first off the claim last out for Sergio Perdinas, who's done well with a small amount of horses for a long time around here. The rider, only 1 win from 5 starts this year, Jose Vergara. So we'll get a nice price. That was a sharp second last out against Open 11 Company. So this is kind of a similar level here. There was a four wide move that day. It was 33-1 that day. We won't get 33-1 today, but I think we'll still get a nice 8-10-1 price on the 7 Tito time.
The 3 no breaks to the inside. The old 11-year-old still winning, a 2-time winner so far this year, and he takes a slight cut back in distance from going the 1-turn mile in the past 2 starts, and he could easily win this race. He's in very good form recently, so you have to respect him if you're playing the pick 6 and pick 5.
Yeah, fan favorite 11-year-old making his 106th career start today, looking for career win number 22. You'll like to see these old war horses still going.
Absolutely, and that is race 6 on today's card. Once again, that kicks off the late pick 5. We get to race 7. This starts the final pick 4 of the day, 5.5 furlongs on the turf for this very nice maiden special weight. And I think, although we don't agree in our single of the day, we definitely agree where to spread with several horses in here. And, you know, looking at the field, I usually don't land on first-time starters having a break from the rail sprinting on the turf. It's not a thing that I do, but I really like the pedigree for Classy Dame, the number 1, trained by Cal Lynch. Cal just does a great job with all of his 2-year-olds, really, and I think that she should be able to have some speed from the rail. I like some of her workouts that she's been posting at Laurel, and you look at the pedigree, she's by Blame. She's out of a mare that makes her a half to Pretty and Cool, who was a very nice dirt sprinter, won the Matron and the Sorrento, so she was a 2-time Grade 2 winner. So that's where I land on, but I don't blame you, Stan, for going with a nice price, the number 9, trained by Lizzie Merriman.
Well, on my pick 5 ticket, I'm 9 deep in here, so I figure it's a wide open race. Why not put a 20-1 shot on top? But after looking at your top pick, I'm gonna hit the all button in this race because it's wide open. The only reason I left the 1 off because it's an inside post for the debut, but strong connections, a Blame filly. I'll use the 1 and the 2 and the 6 for that. I'll use everybody in this race. Let's talk about my 20-1 shot here. Kind of a hunch play initially. Lizzie Merriman does well up there at Fair Hill. Some nice works up there at Fair Hill. gets a top rider, Fergal Lynch here, for an outfit that doesn't, she does well, but she doesn't run around here too often. She's stabled there up there at Fair Hill, so Lynch has probably been up there in the morning working this 2-year-old filly by Eye of the Leopard. Nothing too special with the pedigree, top or bottom, but I like the outside post and I like the connections here. And I've seen Lizzie Merriman pop at a big price before with first-time starters, so why not? A wide open race, I'm going with a 20-to-1 shot.
She's sharp. She's good with her turf runner. She's good with her turf sprinters too. And I think that is definitely a vote of confidence that Fergal Lynch is attracted to this runner. Eye of the Leopard out of that Smart Strike mare. So interesting top pick there. Stan, the 7 Full of Zip. A Grand Motion first-time starter, definitely well bred for this type of condition, sprinting on the turf. She is by City Zip out of a Sky Classic mare, and kin to a stakes winner in Don Dolce. The mare, she was really a producer. She's produced a lot of foals, but 6 of her foals have gone on to surpass the 6-figure marker. They've all made a lot of money.
Yeah, top rating everywhere here on this filly. Top barn, Grand Motion. Trevor McCarthy, solid works with a bullet most recently. Nice post here, 7-hole, lots to like. She'll be well bet. So I absolutely have her second. She's probably the filly to beat with the best post, but she'll absolutely probably, I think, be the favorite here.
Oh, one quick mention here, the 11 Important you throw into the mix, another first-time starter for Horacio de Paz.
All right, Victor Carrasco aboard this daughter of Include out of a Dixie Union mare. I like the breeding here. Maybe she might want longer a little bit later down the road, but she's been working well here at Laurel Park for a barn who does well with the debut runners.
You know she's a have to.
Well,
Day Marquis.
There you go, one of my favorites.
Yeah, you love Day Marquis. I knew
Yep.
you'd throw her into the mix there. That is race 7 as we move right along to race 8. A first level allowance race, 1 1/16 on the main track, and the 3 Good Luck Gus, even money there on the morning line. Not trying to beat this horse, Dan. We'll get to your top selection in a second, but I just think comes out of very strong races. You look at the Saginaw at Belmont 2 starts back. He was defeated by Wake Up in Malibu, who is just so strong at one-turn distances and has a huge advantage over that type of field. He came back to run an okay performance in the Evan Shipman, but that was a very odd race. We saw Cracker Jack Jones come in from out of town, open up on the field by I think like 10 lengths to try to beat Royal Posse, but Royal Posse just gunned him down late. So Good Luck Gus coming out of strong races, but you prefer Pismo Time.
I go with Pismo Time. Good Luck Gus, you're even money favored, and here's Pismo Time, my top pick. This was his race back on April 8th over there at Laurel. Nice allowance race that day. He was the favorite that day. He's got to kind of fight his way off the rail with Trevor McCarthy aboard that day. Gets up for a good third this day. Gets a nice respectable 76 buyer. This was his first time going 1 mile. The winner of this race, Tiz Long Gone, would come right back to win. So a credible third here. Just gets beat 3 parts of a length going a mile. The race after this was a turf race. He ran a good second, a nice allowance turf race back in May at Laurel. They gave him the summer off. They brought him back in a stake race at Delaware, so obviously he was doing well enough in the mornings to give Larry Murray the confidence to go in the Grover Delp off a little time, and a very good third. Got a career best 87 in that Grover Delp last out. So second race off that summer freshing. Trevor McCarthy aboard. We're going to get some better value here on the 6 Pismo Time. I used a 3 Good Luck Gus second. It was absolutely the horse to beat, but the beaten favorite at Pimlico last May at this level. Of course, that was Preakness Day, so a tougher allowance race, but will be well bet today in the horse to beat.
Okay, Pismo Time too. He just looks like a horse that takes a lot to get him going. So Trevor McCarthy can ride him well, and he knows how to ride him, and you got to kind of get the wheels going a little bit sooner than the quarter pole for that one. We get to race 9 on the card, the first half of the late daily double, 1 1/16 on the turf for this nice allowance race. And I'm looking to the 8 Corvus here. You know, I'm looking around, and enjoy the show. This horse has been extremely big money burner lately. We see Silver Romeo. You will get to your top selection. I'm not going to give up on Shinobi, but I think Corvus, I know your top selection has a little bit of early speed too, but Corvus has that controlling position, and he's not slow. I think if they get aggressive with this horse out of the gate, he looks like one that might prefer find a little bit more confidence on or near the lead. So that's where I'm going. Stan, you go to a long shot, Silver Romeo to the inside for Hugh McMahon.
Yeah, sharp win, third start for Hugh McMahon back in early September. Here it is, a maiden special weight. It was a tough race this day. All our maiden special weights are tough. It was an 10-horse field. He broke from the 8-hole, cleared right over, got in front, and just it was 4 in front around the far turn. Hangs on here for a good win, 3 parts of a length. So confident move, I think, going into the allowance race today. Gabe Saez aboard today for Hugh McMahon, who's having a nice meet. The barn's red hot, 3 wins from 8 starts, so around 40% win percentage. So the barn's hot, and we'll get a nice 15-to-1 price here on this horse with a lot of early speed, and I love the breeding.
I can't believe you gave up on Shinobi so quickly. This horse was reeling off consecutive victories back to back to back. I thought he met a very much tougher allowance field than when he meets today. I mean, the horse to beat in here is Enjoy the Show, who really hasn't been delivering at short prices lately. So for the level, a little bit easier. Stan, you quickly the 5 Forest Rim before we get to the final race.
Yeah, Forest Rim, Fergal Lynch aboard for Clyde Martin. This is a Augustin stable, homebred, 6-year-old mare. Very good win, 2 back. She was disqualified at Penn National. I thought a nice effort in the Laurel Turf Cup last out. Got an 83 buyer in there, beaten by Renown. Very nice horse for Elizabeth Voss. So Forest Rim, have it in the exacta. Enjoy the Show. Beaten favored the last 4 times. Just can't
go back.
Can't go back today.
Can't go back to the well.
No.
When the well ain't giving you anything.
Yep.
All right, we'll get to the last race of the day, the 10th and final. Going the 1-turn mile on the main track, a maiden $10,000 event. Scratch the 1, Runaway Dude, and the 6, Unfurling. The outside horse, the way outside horse, the 13, Sir Luca Richard, is going to do it for me. I think a positive rider, change here to Trevor McCarthy. We saw the duo, Tony Pecoraro and Trevor, hook up for a victory. I believe it was on Friday, and this horse just got into a lot of trouble last time out.
Owned by Richard Luciano, trained by Anthony Pecoraro. The horse's named Sir Luca Richard. You think if they win, they're going to Pasta Plus later on after the race?
They're going to get a big plate of pasta.
Can't lose. Go to the window, bet all your money on Sir Luca Richard. Forget about it.
Forget about it. One word, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, beyond him, though, he does have to work out a trip from the way outside post. You back yourself up with the 3. I'm a prankster to the inside. I'll use this horse in the final leg of my late pick 4. I didn't have enough funds to use him in the pick 6, though.
I go too deep in on my pick 5 ticket. I'll throw the 3. I'm a prankster in there as well. Kevin Gomez having a nice meet here. Strong barn. Claudio Gonzalez, another drop here to the bottom, maiden 10. It was a good effort, 2 back at Delaware on a fast track. So if the 10 gets caught a little wide, the 13 gets caught a little wide or something, which going a mile I don't think will happen. The 3 could be there at a nice price.
Were you inspired by Pasta Plus last night?
Must have been, yeah.
Okay, Sir Luca Richard, forget about it. That's all it is in the last race there with Trevor McCarthy. That is races 1 through 10. I think we got through that relatively quickly enough. Once again, we have a nice carryover in that pick 6 today, and we have a carryover of over $7,600. So come out, join us here on this fantastic Sunday afternoon at Laurel Park. Best of luck.